So this was supposed to be something structured.
It is already structured.
With a lot of presentations and a lot of everything. It's not going to be that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that a few people are here. There should be more, but they left.
But how many producers you have in Croatia?
I don't know.
It's really a lot, I would
in
say.
Croatia? Oh,
yeah.
I don't know that we have that much.
Beside.
But Darius, look. First, thank you so much for being my friend. First.
Likewise.
Thank you. Because if you remember, we met, I think it was 2019 or 2018, with the pleasure principle.
Yes.
And you always do everything first. In the 1990s, you were the first independent producer, which is really...
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. There's a few of them, but they can applaud. Then you did the first...
They never met, so long-lasting producer because they die soon. So.
Then later on, you made the first co-production with Arte, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the first co-production done in the CE.
Mm-hmm.
It was with Arte and who else?
It was.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, and it was co-production with Canal Plus France, Arte.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's for the presentation,
Nice.
if you need one.
To make me attracted.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Arte, Mitteldeutscher Rundfunk,
Yeah.
Eurimages, and Polish Television.
Okay.
So that was massive co-production, I have to say.
Yeah, but the one co-production that interests me is the one for Pleasure Principle, which was done with the televisions of the CE region.
Yes, and this is the show which was rooted in Central Eastern Europe, because before we had a wonderful experience of making co-productions with British partners, and BBC in time when BBC never co-produced with any other country. So it was not easy, but what made it possible, and this is sometimes funny, because the guy who was responsible for international drama series in BBC Worldwide was fan of Krzysztof Kieślowski, and I was assistant of Krzysztof Kieślowski. So we started to talk about art, and then we started to make a production in series, and it was a very important moment for me because this is another Central Eastern European experience which I can share with you. As you said, many things I did as a first one. So I was first producer in Europe to be banned from public funding.
Oops.
For 5 years for making very controversial feature film.
Oops.
It was not controversial for me, but
what can you do?
It was a very good script and very good film about Poles murdering Jewish neighbors during Second World War.
Okay.
Every country and every nation has this stain on the conscience, and we decided that it's important to tell the story. Half of the country liked us, half hated. There were fewer pages with my picture and actor's picture as people who have to be hanged. And Polish Film Institute, after we distributed the film, got scared and wanted the grant back. So we went into kind of a conflict after 5 years.
You were always the first.
Yes, and effective because I won all the lawsuits. So I came back to Polish Film Institute, I got money back, and I got apologies, and etc. Today they are very much respectful to me because they know I can survive.
Well, now, today, you're the president, the first from the CE region, the president of the European Producers Club, which is a very important institution that supports young producers, but also finds way for the existing producers to work. And you're the first from the CE, again.
Yes, I was first member from CE countries, that's true, because at the beginning the organization was established in '93, and it was very elitary organization of gentlemen with cigars, and the basic condition was to make film above $10 million budget. And in 2001, they approached me and they said they want me to be a member of the club. I said, this is a mistake because I made $5 million budget. They said, yes, but in Central Eastern Europe, you can double the budget, so no problem. So they invited me to be first member, and that's why, I was trying to tell them that Europe is not only half of it, but also is a second half, with vast tradition, cinema tradition, and series tradition, and cinema big history, and that's what I was doing. Why is important, this organization? Because this is the only European level organization of independent producers, of individuals. There is another organization, CEPI, but this is Federation of Local Associations. We cooperate. I don't know if Filip Bobiński is here, he's my friend, and
I think he is.
He's in the board of CEPI. And we, as Central Eastern European, we made a conspiracy to make these two organizations closer. And we are the only individual producers organization. And we are lobbying on European institutions to protect independent production from broadcasters, from now streamers, etc. Before, it was more like think tank. But funny enough, in the moment when global streamers appeared, like 10 years ago, now we became on the first line of the discussion, because global streamers are not Croatian or Polish or German.
Excuse me, I am Croatian.
But streamers are not.
I'm not a global streamer, but 7 countries streamer.
Yes, but this local...
Do we have that category? No?
Unfortunately, the future and the presence is that, in fact, the market is dominated by...
I know.
How many?
Well, 4. Let's say 4.
Here, altogether, maybe 3, So, and they are active worldwide, and they are active European-wide, and then they became very effective in lobbying on European Commission, all the regulations, having, very professional agencies, lawyers, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, the only organization of producers was us, who had to try to balance this lobbying. So you can imagine how difficult it is, no? But this is what we are doing, exactly, This is one part of what we are doing. This is, I don't know if we are going to show the presentation, this brief presentation.
If you want.
We can.
Okay.
I don't know if I can, because I don't know how it works.
Because you have the telecommander.
Yes, let's try.
Okay.
Green one.
I don't know.
Yeah, I am sailor, too, so it looks like the boat, on the right side red, Okay, let's try. So this is one of our events. Actually, it was encounters which we had in November in Lecce, where almost 90 producers because we are 200 producers from 35 countries. And once a year we are making encounters in one place. We would be happy to come one day to Croatia. And we discuss about all the matters which we care. So this is one of this event. What is written there?
200 independent film and television producers.
So as you can see, these are all European producers making co-productions, old and young and more experienced and very experienced. I want to say this is Sirimania. We are making panels on the most important events, and we talk about independent producers. So this is very important, because we have in mind Croatian producers, Slovenian producers, Serbian producers, every country, because we are from the country and from this small country. And what is the most important philosophy of European Producers Club is that we lobby for all. On the right side, you see Alex Trejla.
Yeah.
And I understand...
He's your image, right?
He is now Council of Europe, working on European Convention on Series Co-Production, which is a very important initiative.
Okay.
But aside of him, you see...
Chris Marcic,
who is head of EFAT. EFAT is a Federation of Public Funds in Europe. And this is, this is very important that Chris is head of EFAT because he's first Central Eastern European. No, he's not, because Estonian was first.
No, he was MPA, so he should know how to do it.
I have to say that Chris is now very actively fighting for independent European producers.
That is a clash somehow, because in Croatia he is the president of the Croatian Audiovisual.
This is it, and this fund is a member of EFAT.
He's a good guy. Sorry.
Very good guy, and I want to say that it's even more important that he was MPA. Because he knows the philosophy of other people. Because Sanya, we are not talking about enemies. We are not talking about people we want to fight. We are talking about partners.
Yes.
Because we love streamers. Streamers are giving a new access to our audience. We love streamers.
Yeah.
But we say, dear friends streamers, you have to take a position in the whole value chain. You cannot dominate us, because what is important, they are broadcasters and they are independent producers. And I really believe that independent producers are an element of democracy. This is a basic element of democracy. That's why I was always involved in producers' organization. And there is one element which you probably understand better than all the Westerners, people from West, because they forgot that it might be difficult that we can meet obstacles with freedom of expression. While in our countries, it's quite fresh.
Yeah.
And for example, I'm coming from Poland, which for 8 years recently struggled with the freedom of expression. And we realize, this is our experience, that the bigger company is, the more easy this company is to get along with the government, no matter what government is. And only small independent producers are courageous enough to make films which authorities don't like. That was my example when I was banned. That was the example of Green Border, of Agnieszka Holland movie, which was made by very courageous, company in Poland, small company in Poland. He's my friend. And it was before election, and he perfectly knew, on my example as well, that he will be excluded if this party, which was having power, will stay. This is a courage. No commercial company will take this risk, only independent producers, because we have the feeling of mission, and we are passionate about certain things, and we want to do what we want to do, not what is bringing profit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we do and show a lot of things on broadcasters, streamers, that please the lower things in the human nature.
Absolutely. And why we exist and how we represent you. I can give you, that was the very close meeting, and I'm not allowed to reveal some details. But the European Commission in Venice made a very limited circle discussion about the future of audiovisual industry, etc. And the lobbyist of one of the streaming platforms said proudly, we produce shows which our audience love. I said, this is true. We produce it for you, first of all, but we produce shows which our audience love and sometimes think. And this is the difference between what you want and what we want, So we are representing also producers and creators from every country. And I have to say what is very important, because I am in this organization more than 24 years. And what is very important, for example, previous president in 2015 was the president of Cattleya, which is the most successful company in Italy. They are producers of Gomorra, 00, Medici, and others. And it was really encouraging that big companies and small companies we have in the organization, we together agree our position and we go together to European Commission. This is very important because we alone in our countries in Central Eastern Europe, we will be lost in seconds, because we are small. Our capacity, our profitability, is not big.
Yeah, you're not small. We are small.
Yes, Poland is just in the middle, not big, not small, But maybe that's why we understand both sides.
Maybe.
And I feel very patriotic about Central Eastern Europe because I believe that the potential which is here is much bigger because, when life is not that easy, then people are more sensitive on certain issues. They are more open. They are more curious how other people live. If you are wealthy and rich, you lose the interest of the world. So in that sense, I really believe that we have fantastic talents. We have fantastic actors. And the pleasure principle you mentioned was about that. It was a series which was shot in Odessa, Warsaw, Prague, with local best actors. I was director of it, but the whole crew was every time local. Even DOP was from the country. And what was the result? In Poland, everybody was saying, oh, Polish actors, we know them, but what about Ukrainian actors? How fantastic they are. What about Czech actors? Because we don't exchange these pleasures of our talent.
That was the first show from the CE that Netflix picked, I think.
It was totally independent. We own the rights.
And, I know.
And Beta took it and started to sell.
Okay.
They sold it to all the countries in Europe, including Arte, Channel 4, RAI. And that's why Beta started to take care of co-productions. Nebojsza drugi plan co-production was after, because they realized they can make money on East, Who believed that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. I remember when we made first trailer looking for distributor, and we said it's Central Eastern European show, and we showed the trailer. Everybody said, but this is not Central Eastern European show. I said, yes, it is. If we are giving conditions, we can show, So this is a quality. And then I was told about the Latvian show, which is very successful. I was told about Romanian show, Mixer, I think is the title, which became successful. So we opened the doors. That's very important,
Yes.
Yeah. And to open the doors, we have to be together. We have to be strong and, have common representation on local situation to local authorities and at the same time to European, because, why I'm so active. I know that dealing with European Commission, we can have common level for all the countries, even the smallest, even the Baltic countries, And that generates my motivation, that, you will be talking to Croatian government, this is fine, Slovenian, etc., etc. And then together with European, we can convince them to do a directive which will help us all. And this is very important,
What do you think was your biggest success?
I think the pleasure principle is nice success because it was first time. But, I believe that biggest success I have ahead of me.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
That's a good answer.
No, but, so we have many plans. We are doing series in co-productions.
Okay.
This is more difficult, because every broadcaster says, I prefer my cheaper but my own things, They say like, I prefer my Dacia than Mercedes because it's my own,
No, co-productions are the mother of all
It's fantastic.
knowledge. I think it allows you to do more, to do better. So,
Sanya, it's a way of living. Because you all, as we are sitting, we are passionate about the same, about storytelling and so on. We are the most peaceful community,
we don't go to war.
Sometimes somebody goes to war dragging us, because I can tell you a sad story of a guy who was the most European Russian producer who wanted to make co-productions. His project was for co-production with Europe. We did together 4 films, very successfully. We got 2 silver bells in Berlin. And at the beginning of the war, his world collapsed because he wanted to make co-productions. And he said, who wants to make co-productions with me now?
Yeah.
By the way, he's from March 22, he's in Moldavia. So I told him, I'm proud of you that you confirmed my choice of friends.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? But of course, it's much more difficult, So I think that I'm totally passionate about other directors, about other DOPs, other production designers. This is what makes us thrilled every time, even if we make small film. There will be announcement soon about our last co-production, which we did, that will be presented in the competition of big festival, of important festival, which is very small, tiny Lithuanian film of Šarūnas Bartas. You know this director.
No.
Very good director. A very small film, And he brought me, the idea. I've read that, and I said, I want to see this film. When I watched, I said, it's unbelievable how with small budget and small means you can create an art. Better than Polish art sometimes, So this is a magic. This is magic, that you can go, you can come to Croatia and all of a sudden you see something which is totally universal. So this is fantastic.
So I think we're done.
Okay.
I think so. But thank you so much for being you, for being so passionate about a small region of the world that does not get much mention in the world.
There is
and we could change that, right?
We already changed. Come on, So you have.
Yeah, well, we
Sanya,
certainly.
you brought the word to Zagreb.
Yes.
I met all the people who are decision makers all over the world. Fantastic.
Yeah, that's true. Dubrovnik, Zagreb. Well, NEM was aimed to do that. We wanted to do that.
Absolutely.
You, in your part of the world, are doing what I wanted to show to this part. So.
Absolutely. It's my close friend is, I don't want to say the best, but very acclaimed Polish living writer. Andrzej Stasiuk. I made one adaptation of his novel. He lives at the border with Slovakia, and every 3 months he packs his car, which is SUV, but quite old, and he is traveling to Albania through these countries, and he's writing books about it, and he says, West is boring, East is growing and emerging, and I believe that he's totally right.
I don't know if it's growing or emerging, but it's certainly different than
it's
the
emerging,
West.
believe me, emerging.
Is
emerging.
it?
Of course.
Well,
you are making better and better shows, I see it.
I hope so. Yesterday I saw some pitching for a Latvian show, The Last Divorce of Communism. I liked it a lot because it's something that is very familiar to us. We as a nation, not only the Croats, but the whole sea region, were, as you said, very resourceful people because nothing was handed to us. We had to search for it and find it ourselves. So we are resourceful. So the divorce is something that is normal for us to hear that such a topic exists. It's normal. For the West world, it's like, what? Divorce because of an apartment? No. So
I remember these marriages in Poland, you know.
Yeah.
The past.
We all had that.
The past which we all experience.
Yeah.
And this is past which is more my generation, not your generation. But this is in your DNA, you know. This is the past of your grandparents, parents, etc., etc. The past gives us a total chance that we understand each other. You know, we were close, then we were split because of capitalism, you know, and market and profits and blah, blah, blah. Let's come back to the values, and then we'll see we share the same values because of this difficult past. Which
we're all different, but very similar.
Fantastic.
But very similar.
Fantastic, you know, so I remember in the 70s and 80s how many people from Croatia, Serbia, Slovenia were coming for holidays to Poland, and Poles were coming here.
Yeah.
Let's make co-productions.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.